Hello, everyone. Hi, we are live, and I welcome you all to this particular stream of Intro to Blockchain presented by GirlScript and powered by Moralis, IPFS, and Mentro. So, yeah, I'll wait for a few more minutes, like till people can join in. Until then, we can introduce our speakers for today. So at first, we have Yash Garg, and Yash is a developer advocate at Polygon. He's also a project admin at
Hi everyone.
GirlScript Summer of Code. So yeah, and Yash will be one of the speakers for today. And other than that, we have one more speaker who is a full stack blockchain developer, Anmol Arora, and the guy is way too good at winning hackathons. Like does it so easily. I'm like jealous, but yeah. So
What's
these
up,
are the
guys?
speakers. These are the speakers for today, and yeah, like let's get the show started. And I'll just give the floor to Yash. Yash, you can go ahead and take the floor.
Okay, just let me share my PPT. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, guys, if you have any questions regarding anything in the stream, you can ask it in the comment section or like in the live chat. I'll try to answer them. And then we also have a Q&A at the end of the stream. Like that's the agenda. So yeah, like Yash will first explain about the things, and we'll go from there. Yes, you are not like presenting the screen or something. Yeah. Okay, Yash, go ahead. It's live.
Okay. So hey everyone, just check this side. Currently, I'm an IT student and a blockchain developer, and also an intern at World Corporation. I am a Polygon developer advocate, and it's my job and responsibility to spread knowledge about blockchain in my region. So let's get started and understand how what is blockchain, and what are some of its use cases. It will not be a technical presentation. It will be only up the above edge. Okay. So, so what is blockchain? In simple words, blockchain is an Excel sheet which can be viewed by anyone and but cannot be edited by anyone. So suppose like you are in a shop, in your neighborhood there is a shop, and a shopkeeper maintains a transaction history in a diary, and he showcases the diary on the table. You can check the transaction history overall, and the transaction must have completed over there, but you cannot edit the transaction. I hope you are getting my point. Like the transaction will be added in a block, and the other transaction will be added in the block linked to that block. So the block and the other block, it will be a chain of blocks. So that's how it is derived, a blockchain. The data present in it cannot be changed, and all the transaction which will happen, it will be peer-to-peer transactions. Like if you and me are present, so you want to transfer 1,000 rupees to me, then you will give it by your hand only. There will be no mediatory like banks or government in between us. So it's a peer-to-peer network, and because it's a peer-to-peer network, it's also a distributed one and a decentralized. And how it's set, like you, me, and everyone have the copy of the whole diary. They can check whether the transaction is being like the transaction is authentic, like who transferred to whom, but they cannot edit any of that. I hope it's clear, and let's move forward. And if anyone has any doubt, please put it on the comments. Yeah,
Yes, you can go like continue with
yeah,
the slides. We'll have.
Uh,
And
that's great. Okay then. So the first use cases, these are some of the use cases, not all. Very few of the use cases of the blockchain. The first one is a transaction. A brief intro is like transaction of anything, ownership, money, or data. The second use case we will study will be the creator economy, like the rewards and the ownership of the content you create on the social platforms like Instagram or uh, Snapchat, any of that. The third will be the governance, the non-hierarchical, the DAOs, and how everyone have the right to vote for something. Now, the fourth will be the financial services, the the crypto markets, investing, interest, and many more, obviously. So the first one is the transaction. In today's scenario, if you want to transfer a payment from one bank to another, not with the UPI, of course, like not a single transaction to you to me, a big transaction like or some transaction from India to USA, suppose, then it will take at least 2 days to get transferred to them. And but in the blockchain scenario, it will be a matter of seconds. So that's how fast is the blockchain is. The transaction also requires mediatory in current scenarios like banks or governments. But in the blockchain, there is no mediatory. It's all you and me and no one in between. So there is no fee. It's very cheap and very fast. The third is the high fees. Like if you will transfer anything from India to USA, you will definitely get a fees of at least 250 per thousand rupees, not per thousand, for transferring 1,000 rupees. In USA, it will be cost you at least 250 rupees. But from blockchain, it will cost you a less than a penny. So uh, that's how. Everyone doesn't have the authority to make transactions. Uh, like if your transaction limits over or your bank blacklisted you for some reason, then you cannot do any transaction, or you haven't completed the KYC. You will not be able to do any sort of transactions in this situation. But in the blockchain scenario, you only require a wallet, and you can make transaction to anyone from anywhere in the world. So next we have a look at creator economy. So the first one is the you don't have the ownership of your content. Like suppose you create a reel on the Instagram, you will be the creator, of course, but you won't be an owner of it. You can't say it's your property because you have given that whole property, whole of your content to Meta. Whereas in blockchain scenario, when you create any content and deploy it on blockchain and put it on blockchain, the creator will be only you, no one else, and no one can take it away from you anyhow. Centralized platforms can remove your content, like many of the reels, inappropriate or anything, any reels which Instagram doesn't find suitable for its platform, they remove it with a snap because you have given the authority and you are not the actual owner of that content. So that's a pretty big step because the content creator puts a lot of time in that for creating that reel. But in blockchain scenario, once the data is stored in the blockchain, it cannot be removed or added. It's immutable, which means it cannot be changed anyhow. Last is when you create a content on Instagram or Facebook, you will get very minimum fee or compensation for creating content. It will they will give you like 500 rupees per month. It's a minimum amount. But in blockchain, there are so decentralized social platform exists in today's world that will give you for rewards for every interaction made by the user on a post. Like if I post any image or any article on a platform, they will reward me for every view or for every comment accordingly. I hope it's clear to everyone. If you have any doubts, then please put it on the comment section. So, yep, let's get move forward. If you don't have any governance in today's scenario, everything is hierarchical. If it's a company, if it's a government, like they are president, they are vice president, they are CEOs, CTOs, and they have the power, and they will be always above you. They will always give you order, and you have to follow them. Otherwise, you will be kicked out. But in blockchain scenario, there's a term DAO, decentralized autonomous organization, which is non-hierarchical. You have your own authority. You don't need to follow anyone, or you don't have to accept anyone orders. The second is the top position holders can change the rules as per their benefits. You have seen, like in Russia or in North Korea, the dictatorship is almost happening. Like in North Korea, it is dictatorship only. So they change their rules according to the dictator, according to the dictator's benefit. But in blockchain scenario, where in DAOs, the rules are set by the code. It can only be changed when the majority votes for it. Third, the top position holders have the access to the cash or money in the treasury. In some companies, when there is a bank account, okay, and the CEOs have the access to it, they can easily take away your money and run away somewhere, and you will be there. You can do anything about that. But in blockchain scenario, no one has the access to the treasury. It will be always stored in the code, and it can only be accessed when the majority votes. So here the government means the majority votes. It's all about people. It's all about the community. Blockchain is completely about community. Next, last, but this is not the least one, the financial services. Limited people have access to the financial services like loans. And if you go to a bank and if you are less than 18 years, you won't get a loan over there. You will be asked to show your civil report, but you don't have any. So you will be rejected, of course. But in blockchain, all you need is a wallet, and then you will get a loan, and you can do the sort of transactions or any type of investing over there. Interest rates cannot even beat the inflation. If you deposit 1,000 rupees in your bank for a year at 4% interest, then you will get 40 rupees at the end. But what you will do with it? It's just a 40 rupees amount. And the inflation, which is obviously at 6% or higher, it will eat up that 40 rupees and even give you minus return. That will be minus 20 rupees. So your 1,000 rupees value will then after a year will be 980 rupees. But in blockchain scenario, there are no barrier on height of interest. With the minimal risk, you can get 10% interest per annum. Need to do KYC before entering the market. You will always require to do KYC you will always require to have an Aadhaar card or driving license to make sure you have an identity in your country or residential area to enter the market. You cannot trade or invest in any of the firms. But in blockchain, there is no need to do KYC. All you need is a wallet, and then you can be in the investing market. Requires broker for international tradings. Yep. So suppose I'm from India, and if I want to trade in the US markets, then I would definitely require brokers for trading in the US market. And it will create a lot of fuss because first I need to get access to the international trading. I have to ask my bank for that, and then I need to pay the heavy fees for the international brokers. But in blockchain, the markets are all open for everyone. There is no need of broker. There is no need of any sort of verification, and that's why it's very cheap, and there are almost no minimal fees. It's minimal fees applied by the platform. So these are some of the basic use cases of the blockchain technology, which we are using currently, and there are many more of that, like staking and staking your coins or staking your land as collateral, and many more are there, and we will sort of that. So now Now, as we have get to understand the knowledge of the blockchain, just a brief one. It's not the deep dive, I know, but it's a brief like how it works and like what are the use cases of it. Now, these are some of the resources which will help you to get in your blockchain journey, start your blockchain journey. It's not the specific one like a course or something. It's the domains where you will get the proper resources and where you should be present. Like the first is Google itself. If you want to do anything, just want to learn how blockchain development, just Google it. It's a step away. Many just because of like many just don't know how to Google. So start learning Googling first. The third is a Twitter. Twitter is having the one of the biggest communities of Web3 or blockchain. Get a good profile on Twitter, and you can even get blockchain internships over there or jobs over there on the Twitter platform. Discord. Discord is a blockchain hub. Like for me at least, you will get every type of community, trading community, investing community, or content creating community for blockchain platforms and every other platforms also. And the YouTube, like always search for good content. You will always find great tutorials with no fees, and that's how you will get started. And the last one is the blogs. Like always look out for the official documentation and blogs by the Polygon or any of the blockchain you are using or any of the services you will use in future. So these are some of the Discord servers and YouTube channels, which I personally love. Uh, the Discord servers have these Discord server have the most interactive peeps in there, like in the blockchain. Uh, you can learn the starting the basics of the blockchain in the development side. And the Moralis DAO, it's an API, and they have a very high tech, high professionals over there. And in Polygon, you might have already heard of it. The community is very big, and people are all from all over the world are very interactive and easy to approach. Crypto capable and blockchain courses. These are the two communities which will provide you the specific courses for each of the domain, like whether it's non-tech or whether it's tech community, whether it's tech domain you want to apply, they will provide you that. But before joining any anonymous Discord server, always look out for the active and the official ones. So now the YouTube channels. These are some of the best YouTube channels. I have always view some of the tutorials from them, like the Eat the Blogs, Dap Universities, Nadir Rabbit. He's a great YouTuber, always making great content for the tutorials in the start. Whiteboard Crypto for understanding the basics of the cryptonomics and the protocols. Kinematics for understanding the cryptonomics, and the Moralis for making the use of Moralis and how to build a dApp easily and fast and easy. And if you guys have any sort of doubt or any sort of doubt, like right, just ping me on Twitter or any of the social platforms over here, and that would be great. Should I directly jump into Web3 and skip 2? It's not about Web3 or skipping Web2. You will eventually require Web2 knowledge, like building a website. If you just write a smart contract or stuff, it will not be beneficial for you until and unless your client can use it. And any other questions or anything you wanna ask, guys? Like it's very brief and very fast. I know, I literally know.
So yeah, like just I will need to add something on the Web2 part. Like it's not gamification that you can just like skip a Web2 level and like go to the Web3
Yeah.
level. You'll still need to learn JavaScript, React, and stuff like that to build apps and other things.
So
Okay,
which
which
is
is
it better? Yep, keep on.
I'll just read the question. You can answer. Which is
Yeah.
it better to start blockchain dev with Ethereum using Solidity or Solana using Rust?
Right now, it will be really great to start with the Solidity because the documentation and the tutorials out there are pretty much simple and pretty much what you can say understandable. So it would be prefer to start with Solidity. And it will not be only for Ethereum; it will be for EVM compatible, Polygon, Binance, and others.
Hmm. Yeah.
And
So fine. Yash, yeah, we'll have Yash. Other than that, like at the end of the stream, we also have like an AMA where me, Yash, and Anmol, all three of us will be taking questions. So like right now, we can just shift to Anmol's presentation. And
yeah,
yeah, if you still have any questions, you can ask in the chat. We'll have it in the thing. So yeah, Yash, I'll just put you on the backstage, and now let's hear
yeah,
to
sure.
Anmol. So yeah, Anmol, you can go ahead and introduce yourself again, and yeah, I'll add I'll add.
So yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank Yash for doing all the heavy lifting. So my talk would be focused more on the things that usually aren't talked about, like the experiences we or the things we face when we are doing dev. So yes, that is actually me with a nice little bokeh image, thanks to the Apple iPhone cameras. Uh, Moving on. So you might be wondering who I am and why am I exactly here. Well, Harsh reached out a couple of days ago and invited me here to talk to you guys about my journey as a full stack blockchain developer. Just a disclaimer, I am pretty sure there might be people in the audience that are more skilled than me. So if I make a mistake somewhere, just know we learn as we go and no one knows absolutely everything. So yes, I am a pre-final year student, and no one cares how old you are in the blockchain space. So moving on, I am a mentor at the Indian Blockchain Fraternity. I won the Tezos Hack 7-day hackathon. I am a co-founder of Blocktrain, and I would recommend you guys joining the Discord because we are actually planning on doing some amazing things. So here are some fun facts about me. Let's make some fun of me. The only reason I open Code Chef is because I keep thinking it's related to food. And yes, I did in fact score that less in my mid semester examinations. And the professor fought tooth and nail against her own ethics and morals to give me a passing grade. And I mean, what can I say about the third one, right? Who needs the placement committee? The point of all of this was that despite not being that academically inclined, you can still do wonders in your niche. All you need is the will to sit there for hours fixating on that one bug that just won't go away, regardless of what you do, and a burning desire to be the better version of your previous self. You just need those two things. Now comes the big question: why and how I got into blockchain. Well, growing up, my father was a traditional investor, so the dinner table talks in our home were usually revolving around stocks and investment. I was his little assistant who he ranted and explained things to. So, whatever little acumen of finance and numbers I have is because of him. I was always the kid that reached first to the computer labs for reasons other than the AC and scored the maximum in those classes as well. I failed the other subjects, but that's besides the point. So when I stumbled into blockchain around Jan 2021, it seemed like the perfect intersection of the two interests that I had, tech and finance. So these are some of the notable lessons I've learned being a blockchain developer. First, networking is key. One thing that I've noticed is regardless how skilled you are, it is always easier to get the job you want when you have a personal relationship with the person inside the organization. Now, by this, I don't mean that you should stop upskilling. You just gotta go to the meetups in and around your city and meet like-minded people. Uh, you can also do the networking on Twitter, but I mean, the relations you form in real life are always stronger and they are likely to refer you if they know you personally. And the blockchain space being pretty tight knit, A referral goes a long way here. And the second thing is sometimes you just gotta take a leap. I have a friend named Zeel, so this is going to be a long story. I have a friend named Zeel. He's currently working as a researcher in TimeSwap Labs, and he's parallelly handling product at layer3.xyz, the site infamous for the bounties. That guy had absolutely zero dev experience, but somehow experienced across opportunity from the Cello blockchain, as a front-end developer. Now, not only did he not know React Native, but he was absolutely new to JavaScript as well. And if you know about React Native and its prerequisites, you would know only a stupid guy would say yes to an opportunity where you have absolutely zero knowledge. But he went in head first. They gave him a task and he grinded his butt off for 3 days and got it done. They selected him, and him making that split second decision and saying yes in that moment was matlab, him making that split second decision and saying yes in that moment, knowing that he knew nothing about coding and trusted himself enough to figure it out as he went. I think he's the perfect example of what you got to do sometimes, even when you're scared. Uh, these are some of the things that I think are essential and might also be useful for some of you guys. First, when looking for a job, the company culture and the drive inside the team for actually making the best products should be present. I've worked in companies to be specific service based, and their end goal was just to get the money after each milestone they completed. They weren't focused on the quality of code they were writing or how organized they were. Sometimes they didn't even have a system architecture for a giant product which was approximately going to last 2 or 3 months. Second, speaking from personal experience, Web3 salaries have spoiled me. When I get an offer that most of the people around me would grab at a second's notice, I would have to sit back and think that this salary isn't more than my previous one, or this offer doesn't seem as enticing. I had to give myself a reality check that as a beginner, the things you learn on the job are also a form of compensation because the environment you get while working in a big scale organization cannot be replicated in a 3 or 7 day hackathon. So keep in mind always learning over money. Definitely, this learning over money as a beginner is always the priority. But that doesn't mean that you should settle for less, right? You should always get compensated enough for your skills. You have to find a healthy balance between what you are happy with making and how grateful you are to get that opportunity to work with industry leaders. I know some of you might disagree with me, but that's just life. Third, biddle more. Easier said than done. Sometimes we spend a lot of time daydreaming or thinking and a lot less time on actually building products that might lead to something worth pursuing. And the fourth one, the final one, I can speak for days about this and how important it is for us to take some time off. The toxic grind set in this space is very deep rooted. There have been days where I had a complete emotional breakdown and I was crying in front of my father and friends after coding for 2 weeks straight, not having time to eat, sleep, or work out. And not working out every day is a big deal for me. I work out every single day. So do what rejuvenates you very often. Take breaks. Now, one last thing that I would like to leave you guys with is uh, you necessarily don't have to do what your friends are doing or what your colleagues are doing in order to reach the same goal. Everyone has their own journey. One path doesn't suit all. You can go against the grain to achieve similar or better things. I have said no to better and bigger offers than my college placement cell has ever seen. And trust me when I say, if I can do it, everyone can. So you guys can reach out to me on Twitter or LinkedIn. Let's set up a call if you want to speak. This QR code leads to my Twitter. This is my presentation, guys. Thank you.
So yeah, by the way, all the socials of both the speakers are on in the description. These people are too friendly, and like they will have a chat with you on LinkedIn or whatever you guys will ping them on. You can just shoot all the doubts, and like yeah, that was a pretty good presentation, and all those some of those tips were really helpful even for me. And yeah, so we have Yash as well now in here, and yeah, so now it's like three blockchain devs on the stream. I get, by the way, I'm also one. I just was the host for this particular stream, so yeah.
So I would like to mention a lot of the things that I've learned from Yash. Yasni, sorry, Harsh. Harsh has been a mentor to me for about 3 or 4 months. We did an internship together, and every time I had a doubt or I was stuck somewhere, I called up Harsh. Yeah, come on call, let's discuss and let's get this task done.
And I would like to add, like Harsh is same for me right now. Like he literally helped me in many of my tasks, and in the GirlScript Summer of Code, really about my project only.
Yeah, thank you for the kind words, but yeah, like the everyone is here like pretty awesome. Both of these guys are great, and yeah, like if you have any questions other than like even after like the stream might get played after like the live stream ends, so like like ping us or like get started. And yeah, if you are a GirlScript Summer of Code participant, please contribute to like a certified cliche. It's the project of Yash. You'll learn a lot. Like learning with open source plus blockchain is a good thing. Like you will even get to contribute to a live project, right? So what's better than that?
Yep. You can just slide into the server and then you can ask, just ping me over there on the Twitter or Telegram, anywhere, and you can start contributing in the
Mm.
project.
Yeah. So fine. Like any particular tips which would like be good? Like this question gets asked a lot. Like how to get started. So like how, like if you can just like bulletin points. Like yeah, both of you guys can answer bulletin points about how to get started. Like it's something. There's a yeah.
I
If you
would say that when your end goal is to get better at programming, the only thing you should focuses on is programming. You should make projects. Uh, there is a channel called Moralis. The videos they upload, they are end-to-end tutorials. So even if you just recreate those tutorials, you would learn a lot. If you actually understand
Yeah.
every line they code, you would be pretty decent at making dApps. And the tooling they provide is out of the world. Big cheers to Moralis.
yeah, Moralis is a sponsor as well, by the way. So yeah, thank you, Moralis, for sponsoring
Yeah.
this.
This was not a promotion. This was not a promotion. I actually love working with Moralis.
Yeah, plus one,
um,
yeah, plus one over here. Like I first
mm,
started my blockchain journey with Moralis video only, and edited a bit. Like he's also a great
Yeah,
YouTuber
native.
and put on put on the fastest content over there, I guess.
yeah. So
I
yeah,
would
like
say the channels that Yash mentioned in his slides were actually the best ones. I
Yeah.
have literally licked through entire YouTube for dApp content, blockchain development content, and those specific channels, those 6 or 7 channels, are the best ones out there. I think we should. Yash, can you display those channels once again?
Yeah, sure. Just a second.
yeah. By the way, just a terminology. DApp is decentralized applications. So yeah, like a lot of people might not know it. So I'll just yeah, I'll add your stream presentation to the stream, and yeah, yes.
Yeah,
I would
So
like
these
to
are the
mention
YouTube
that
channels.
if you want to get your basics cleared, you can't get a channel more informative than Whiteboard Crypto. Watch their videos on DeFi or any other crypto related topics. They are explained better than any place else.
Yeah.
literally the whiteboard crypto, and if you are specifically for DeFi, the finance part, then Finematics.
Kinematics, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and Moralis is all over there.
Yeah.
So
Fine. So
and
like, hmm,
literally like these Discord server also, like Discord is like a great, the main community I engage with, the Discord.
You can also find good tutorials on dev.to. Best tutorials end to end.
hmm.
Nice.
So yeah, like all the if you're someone who's just starting with programming, you should learn a few languages and okay, learn a language. Like you can start with JavaScript or Java or C++, and then you can start getting builded stuff. So if you're someone who's in the first year, second year, and wants to get started, like learn about basic programming first, and these channels will help you there as well. And then you can like put in this industry, like put your steps in this industry. And the best
If you
way is like,
guys, yeah,
yeah,
sorry, continue. Harsh.
yeah, and like as Anmol said, like the best way is like creating your own dummy projects, some pet projects, and then add them into your portfolio.
If any particular playlist, right? So I'm going to put few links in the YouTube chat. If you guys want to get good at JavaScript or React, which are both necessary if you want to develop web dApps, web blockchain applications. So Scrimba courses are the best. They are very concise and you can code along with them. I polished my JavaScript and React skills from there only, personally.
Sure. Like I'll add it in the pinned comment. Like after the stream ends, I'll add all the resources in the pinned comment as well, so you guys can check that out there. And yeah, if there are any more questions for any of you guys, you can ask it in the else we are. Yes,
No,
there's one question. I guess both of you can answer. Like, did you guys took any paid courses or like
Yeah,
would recommend?
never.
I started my web development journey with the Angela Yu web development course, which I would recommend for beginners because the way she explains topics in JavaScript is very intuitive. She relates them with real life scenarios and how you can create real world applications. So I would recommend Angela Yu, but there are many free resources as well on Scrimba app.
Like
And I'm
Yeah.
not sponsored
I
by
would like.
Scrimba
Yet.
Yeah, so
yet.
I have also attended some of the sessions of Angela U, but I would not say to put investment on that. Just find a torrent link for that and go with it. You don't need to
There
Oh,
are
have.
always
You
ways.
don't. There are
we are
always
not
ways for that.
promoting. We are not promoting that.
Yeah, obviously we are not
We don't
promoting.
want to get sued.
So yeah, all those things, like all the resources in here, I would say I've never done a paid course myself, but yeah, like there are, if you want some like personalized personalized mentorship, you can take one. But like all the resources which are currently on the stream, they are all free, and like those were enough for me. Those will, if you want more, then you can get stuff.
Harsh, I
And
think there's a
And
question for you. Uh, does reading white papers help? I think you're the god here.
yeah, sure. Like I guess the first any person who's getting started with blockchain will read the Bitcoin white paper at first. Like that's the first foundation. Like that's the first crypto which ever came in here, and you should go through that white paper at least once before starting it. And yeah, whatever chain you will go through, please read their white papers. Please research about their communities and the projects. Those will help you a lot in understanding the ecosystem. Like each chain has a different ecosystem. So yeah,
Also,
white
guys,
paper.
yeah. So Harsh himself has written many white papers. Yeah, he's pretty experienced. I think you should DM him about it.
No, white papers are pretty, like white papers are something like it's a document at the end which is just which explains about the future of the top, like describes the complete project and like future plans about it. So yeah. Um, Fine.
Okay.
By the way, yeah. Any closing thoughts by you guys? Else we'll end the stream.
Uh, I'll just say that take some time off. Don't just work. Do things that make you happy. And if working makes you happy, find some other thing that make you happy as well. Because just working, you'll burn out very quickly. Burnout is very prevalent in the crypto space because you're constantly surrounded. On crypto Twitter, you get the news in the morning, then any newsletter, then videos, then the coding part itself. It gets really heavy on the brain. Take some time off.
Mm,
Okay.
mm, yeah.
That's a really
Okay.
important point, and I need to follow that actually,
Yeah.
and I need to follow that actually.
Okay.
Hit
Yeah.
us up on Twitter or LinkedIn, guys. We are open to any of you that want to chat.
The socials are in the description. Yash, any closing thoughts from your side?
Like it's all about building and all. Like you have to build, and this is the Web3, and it's in initial stage. So if you build for someone, then you will earn also. Like learn to earn program. There are many of going on.
Yeah.
Just build the stuff through the tutorials, understand the concepts, and then you will get rewarded for sure.
And
Mm,
one thing I'd like to mention is that don't be afraid to learn in public. Tweet about what you're making. Somehow, somewhere, you will stumble into an investor or a fellow developer that would like to collaborate with you. And I personally went to BuildSpace India in Bangalore this past weekend, and I talked to so many investors and developers. I met people that are earning $8,000 a month when they're just 17. This space is crazy. There's a lot to learn. Sometimes I feel like that the learning never ends here. Every single day, a new project launches, and the idea is revolutionary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. So fine. It's been great talking with you guys in here. I just have like one last announcement to make. We have one of the major points in this discussion was like to build new projects, and now one of the question would be like how to get started. So we have one of the workshops arranged for you where we'll be building a game on chain, and it will be beginner friendly, and one of the guys from Moralis will be handling the complete workshop. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's it's within a few days. We'll make posters about it. We'll send it all over socials, and yeah, you can attend that workshop and build a very simple project, and that will be good enough to like embark your journey.
See you
Yeah.
there, guys.
That would
I'm
be great.
definitely
Yeah.
going to be in that call.
Yeah. So thank you guys. Thank you, Yash. Thank you, Anmol, for this thing. And thanks for everyone
Thank you for having
joining.
us.
Thank
No
you.
problem. Yeah. Fine. So we'll end the stream. See ya. Bye bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.